The England women's national football team represents England in International Women's Association football. The team has been governed by the Football Association since 1993, having been previously administered by the Women's Football Association. England played its first international match in November 1972 against Scotland. Although most national football teams represent a sovereign state, as a member of the United Kingdom's home nations, England is permitted by FIFA statutes to maintain its own national side that competes in all major tournaments, with the exception of the Women's Olympic Football Tournament. England has qualified for the FIFA Women's World Cup 4 times, reaching the quarter-final stage on the first 3 occasions in 1995, 2007, and 2011, and finishing third in 2015. They reached the final of the UEFA Women's Championship in 1984 and 2009. History. Early years. The success of the men's national football team at the 1966 FIFA World Cup led to an upsurge of interest in football from women within England. The Women's Football Association was established a few years later in 1969 as an attempt to organize the women's game. The same year, Harry Batt formed an independent English team that competed in the Fédération Internationale Européenne de Football Féminin European Cup. Batt's team also participated in 2 FIFA World Cups held in Italy and Mexico. Following a new UEFA recommendation in 1972 for national associations to incorporate the women's game, the Football Association rescinded its 50-year ban on women playing on Football League grounds. Shortly after, Eric Worthington was tasked by the WFA to assemble an official women's national team. England competed in its first international match against Scotland in Greenock on the 18th of November 1972. Almost 100 years after the first men's international, the team overturned a 2-goal deficit to defeat the northern opponents by 3-2, with Sylvia Gore scoring England's first international goal. Tom Tranter replaced Worthington as long-term manager of the women's national football team and remained in that position for the next 6 years, 1979 to 1993. Progress under Reagan. Martin Reagan was appointed to replace Tranter in 1979. England reached the finals of the inaugural European competition for women's football, after beating Denmark 3-1 on aggregate in the semi-finals. The England team lost the first away leg 1-0 against Sweden, after a header from Pia Sundhage, but won the second home leg by the same margin, with a goal from Linda Kerr. England lost the subsequent penalty shootout 4-3. Theresa Wiseman saved Helen Johansson's penalty, but both Kerr and Lorraine Hansen had the spot kick saved by Elizabeth Lyding. At the 1987 European competition for women's football, England again reached the semi-finals but lost 3-2 after extra time against holder Sweden. In a repeat of the previous final, the team settled for 4th after losing the third-place play-off against Italy 2-1. Reagan was sacked after England's 6-1 quarter-final loss against Germany at the 1991 UEFA Women's Championship, which left them unable to qualify for the inaugural FIFA Women's World Cup. John Bilton was appointed as head coach in 1991 after Barry Williams's brief tenure. 1993 to 1998 FA involvement. In 1993, the FA took over the running of women's football in England from the WFA, replacing Bilton with Ted Copeland as national team manager. England managed to qualify for the 1995 UEFA Women's Championship, having previously missed out on the last 3 editions. but were beaten 6-2 on aggregate over 2 legs against Germany. Reaching the European semi-finals granted England a place at the World Cup for the first time. The team advanced from the group stages of the 1995 FIFA Women's World Cup in Sweden, but lost out again to Germany 3-0 in the quarter-finals. 1998 to 2013, development under Paul Hope. Paul became the team's first full-time head coach in June 1998, succeeding her former coach Copeland. The European Championship expanded in 1997 to 8 teams and moved from a biennial event to a quadrennial one. England qualified via the playoffs for the 2001 competition held in Germany, despite recording the biggest loss during qualification, but did not advance past the group stages. England automatically qualified as hosts in 2005, but again did not make it to the semi-finals. Qualification for the World Cup changed for the 1999 edition. European qualifiers were introduced, so that teams no longer needed to rely on advancing to the latter stages of the European Championship. England qualified unbeaten for the 2007 World Cup in China, winning Group 5 in the European qualifiers and recording the biggest win in the process, ending a 12-year hiatus from the competition. After coming second in the group, they advanced into the quarter-finals to face the United States, but lost 3-0. In May 2009, central contracts were implemented to help players focus on full-time training without having to fit it around full-time employment. 3 months later, at the European Championships in Finland, England marked the return to the recently expanded 12-team competition by reaching the final for the first time in 25 years. They advanced from Group C to the quarterfinals by virtue of being the top third-place team, beating both the hosts and the Netherlands in the knockout stages on the way to the final. There they lost 6-2 to reigning champions Germany. England reached the third World Cup in 2011, having won Group 5 and the playoff 5-2 over 2 legs against Switzerland. In Germany, they topped Group B, ahead of eventual winners Japan. England were paired with France in the quarter-finals, with the match ending in a 1-1 draw. England had taken the lead with Jill Scott's chip, only to have Elise Bussalia equalize with 2 minutes remaining. After extra time ended in stalemate, they lost the ensuing penalty shootout 4-3. Karen Bardsley had saved Camille Abelle's initial penalty, but misses by Claire Rafferty and Faye White sent England out of the competition. Powell left the role in August 2013 after a poor showing at the 2013 UEFA Women's Championship, with England bowing out early at the group stages. 2013 present. Recent form. Mark Sampson succeeded Powell as England manager. England qualified for their third successive World Cup in August 2014 with a game to spare, winning all 10 matches and topping Group 6. England played the first international match at the new Wembley Stadium, home to the men's national team, in a friendly against the reigning European champions Germany on the 23rd of November 2014. England had not played Germany since the heavy defeat in the European Championship final 5 years earlier. They lost the match 3-0, marking the 20th attempt at which England had failed to record an official win over Germany. 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup. At the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup in Canada, England lost their opening group game to France 1-0 in Moncton, with a long-range goal from French midfielder Eugénie Le Sommer in the first half. However, Mark Sampson praised the performance. Despite criticism from the media, England then won the remaining group games against Mexico and Colombia, easing through to the last 16 to play 1995 champions Norway. After a scoreless first half, Norway managed to score first through Solveig Gulbrandsen's head off a corner kick, but England rallied as captain Steph Houghton answered with a header of her own off a corner, and Lucy Bronze fired in a powerful long-range strike to give England a 2-1 win. It marked England's first ever knockout stage win at a Women's World Cup and a ticket to the quarter-finals to face host nation Canada. Despite facing not only a strong Canadian team but a capacity partisan crowd at BC Place in Vancouver, England took control with 2 quick goals from Jodie Taylor's finish off a mistake from a Lawrence S. Ellman and Bronze's head off the crossbar from a free kick. Christine Sinclair managed to score a goal back for Canada, but it was not enough for the hosts, and England progressed to the semi-finals of the Women's World Cup for the first time in the history, becoming the first England team of any gender to reach a World Cup semi-final since the England men's team at the 1990 World Cup in Italy, which had included Paul Gascoigne and Gary Lineker in addition to Sir Bobby Robson as coach. England played reigning World Cup holders Japan in Edmonton, and they managed to impose themselves physically very well on Japan. However, they conceded a penalty kick, and Ayumi Yama of Japan converted it past Karen Bardsley. Replays showed the foul was committed outside the penalty area, and it should have been a free kick. Just a couple of minutes later, Japan conceded a penalty as Yuki Ogwemi clipped Steph Houghton's left heel, although the contact seemed slight, and Farah Williams slotted it past Ayumi Ihori to level the game. However, in the last minute of the game, Laura Bassett scored an own goal to send Japan through to the final. Bassett broke down in tears, along with other members of the England team. These images were compared to that of Gascoigne in 1990, when he cried after he was booked, and ultimately England were eliminated on penalties against West Germany. About the own goal, it was considered as a replay of Colombia's André Escobar's infamous own goal during the 1994 FIFA World Cup held in the United States, which had led to Colombia losing 1-2 to the US, crashing out of the tournament, and Escobar being murdered. Immediate reaction was tremendously supportive towards Bassett, and Mark Sampson called her a hero and one of his best players throughout the tournament. Support also came from the football community for Bassett and England from American counterparts Mia Hamm, Julie Fordy and Brandy Chastain, all members of the famous team that won the 1999 Women's World Cup as hosts, as well as opposite numbers from the England men's team and FA management, including captain Wayne Rooney, Jack Wilshere, Rio Ferdinand, Gary Lineker, Glenn Hoddle, and FA President Prince William. England eventually finished in third place by beating Germany for the first time in 21 meetings, 1-0, after Leanne Sanderson won a penalty off a Tabia Kemmer foul in the 108th minute that Williams converted past German captain and keeper Nadine Angra. It not only gave them the bronze medal and a best placing of any European team in the tournament, but also marked the best performance by a senior English team, male or female, since an England men's team coached by Sir Alf Ramsey and including Bobby Charlton and Bobby Moore had famously won the 1966 World Cup as hosts. In the process, England also denied a podium finish for Angra and coach Sylvia and Eid, the two remaining pieces from the German teams that had won consecutive Women's World Cups in 2003 in the United States and 2007 in China in the final World Cup. It is hoped that the victorious 2015 campaign will usher in more success for women's football in England, with the FA WSL and even more players playing the game, in a similar fashion to the 2012 Summer Olympics, plus the FA Women's Cup final between Chelsea Ladies and Nottinghamshire County Ladies being played at Wembley Stadium for the very first time. At the beginning of the tournament, Houghton said the team wanted to inspire a nation, and English fans spoke of being revitalized by the Lionesses' success, as the men's team had crashed out of the 2014 World Cup in Brazil at the group stage following losses to Italy and Uruguay. Competitive record. World Cup. England have qualified for the FIFA Women's World Cup 4 times and failed to qualify for 3 competitions. The England team reached the quarter-final stage on 3 occasions, losing out to Germany in 1995, the United States in 2007 and France on penalties in 2011. In 2015, however, England earned the bronze medal for the first time, under Mark Sampson, by beating Germany in the third-place play-off. Draws include knockout matches decided on penalty kicks. European Championship. England first entered the UEFA Women's Championship in 1984, reaching the final that year and in 2009. The England team has reached the semi-finals on 2 other occasions but only managed to make the group stages in 3 editions. The team did not qualify in 1989, 1991, 1993 and 1997. Draws include knockout matches decided on penalty kicks. Red border color denotes tournament was held on home soil. Olympic Games. England do not participate in the Women's Olympic Football Tournament, as the country does not have its own National Olympic Committee. Members of its team have played for the Great Britain Women's Olympic Football Team at the 2012 Summer Olympics. Since England falls under the jurisdiction of the British Olympic Association, remit for an Olympic football team requires support from all 4 home nation associations: the Scottish Football Association, the Football Association of Wales and the Irish Football Association have all previously objected to the premise over fears that the team would erode the independence of their individual football associations. Minor tournaments. Players. For all past and present players who have appeared for the national team, see List of England women's international footballers. Current squad. The following players were called up for a training camp in August 2016. Head coach Mark Sampson. Recent call-ups. The following players have also been called up to the England squad within the last 12 months. Player records. Farah Williams holds the record for England appearances, having played 150 times since 2001. She overtook previous record holder Rachel Yankee in August 2014 in a friendly against Sweden. Yankee had passed Gillian Coulthard's 119 record England women caps in September 2012 in a European qualifying match against Croatia, and Peter Shilton's 125 record England international caps in June 2013 in a friendly against Japan. Alex Scott is the 3rd highest capped female England player with 127, followed by Casey Stoney with 123 caps. Coulthard has the 5th highest number of England caps. Kelly Smith has scored the highest number of goals for England, with 46 over a 20-year international career. She surpassed Karen Walker's 40-goal record in September 2010 in a World Cup qualifying playoff against Switzerland. Captains. 2015-16 results and AMP fixtures.